How's it, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today's a bit of a different setup. I'm not busy running around in Lincoln doing all my American things today. It's been quite a busy week last week. We had a couple of open houses for the kids' school, because that's what they do here in America before school starts. They do an open house so that you can go and meet all your kids' school teachers and see where their classrooms are and get a lay and feel for the school. And I was pretty stressed at the idea of my kids having to leave my side and go to school because they've only been homeschooled. And I'm pretty happy that they English first language, because slotting in and fitting in at school is not going to be much of a huge adjustment for them, because if you come from a country where you speak English as a second language, they go through all the rigmaroles to make sure you do English proficiency to get you up to date. So my kids are at a fantastic school, one of the best schools in Lincoln, and I don't really have anything to complain about. So seeing how excited they were when they came home from the first day made me super happy, and it made my husband and I realize why we did this. We did this for my son and my daughter, and to give them a fair shot at a future in a country where there's opportunities times a million. And they had none of that in South Africa going forward, especially because they have an Afrikaner heritage, and we all know what's happening in South Africa when it comes to locking out a major part of South African society, of who's allowed to grow, who's allowed to benefit, and who's allowed to earn. So the fact that they have such a shot at a future made it worth it, makes everything worth it. And it was a huge weight off my shoulders this last week when their first school week started and came to an end, and they love it. My kids are over the moon. It's everything they've ever seen in a movie or in a cartoon, and they just love school. They love everything from having a locker to getting recess. We call it breaks in South Africa, but recess here. And they are pretty much over the moon. And my husband and I, we're good. We know that they're going to be good, so we're good, because this is who we did this for. And now all we can do is focus on locking down employment and getting busy, because that's the most important part of why we are. Over and above that, as you can see from the title of this video, this woman has been going through it. I've been a bit homesick. And when I mean homesick, it's not I want to get back on a plane and go back to South Africa. Never. I would not give up what I have here in America for anything. However, being human and having a heart and a soul, there's certain things that are cellular in the human body, and being embedded in your cells. It's hard to just let it go and forget about it like it's never existed. And that's been it with me this week. And I'll take you a little bit on a journey of the things that, make me wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and just sit outside while it's quiet here and just have a tear, cry, and I just miss home. When, you see, I still call it home. It'll be home here. This is home now. I'd love it when the kids say, "Mama, let's go home." When we had to shop or something, because I'm like, yeah, you're right. We have a home now. Yeah, it is a home. And my place is starting to feel and look a little bit more like a home, which makes me happy and makes me feel comfortable. And I really love the apartment we live in, because it's so bright and airy and clean. And I'm a homebody by nature. That's why I traveled with a lot of homebody stuff. I came with a lot of South African stuff from my home and memories, just to what I could pack and what I could carry in my 23-kilo bag, just to make this place feel more like home. For example, this quilt behind me, my mother-in-law made it, and I brought a couple of her quilts with me, and yeah, it's just all those little things that feels like home, that makes me feel like I'm not that far away. When you look at my refrigerator, it's got all my fridge magnets from my different travels around South Africa. Feels like home, when I see those things. So I'm a homebody by heart. I'm a memories person, and yeah, let me show you what are the things that make me cry in the middle of the night when everyone's sleeping, and I just feel a hole in my heart that I hope can be filled one day. And let's hope I don't end up being too tearful in this video. But let me show you what's my homesick, and what I think about and miss every day, and those things that can never be replaced, the precious that can never be replaced. So let me show you. Okay, so what are the things I miss? As you can see, number one on that list, I miss my farm. I miss my beautiful farm. I love this place. It was my home for 9 years, and we were actually getting ready to break down most of the smaller dwellings and build a bigger house, our forever home. But I'm happy we didn't, because now whoever buys the farm gets to build their forever home. I love the space my children had. My children had so much space. The animals had so much space. We could run and walk for kilometers on this farm. I loved it. I did my morning walks around the farm because we had a fire break right around it. And the kids loved it. I loved all the trees. I miss my schoolroom. My husband built me the schoolroom so that I could do homeschooling with the kids. And I miss my cold stove. I love cooking on a cold stove. I miss my car. I miss my vehicles. I miss the African bushveld and all of the wildlife it gives. I miss the birds. I miss my favorite totem animal, the elephant. The African elephant is one of the most beautiful creatures you could ever encounter. I love driving down the road and just seeing giraffe on a neighbor's farm, and I could just stop and take a look at the giraffes, take a look at the zebras that would be wandering around in the middle of the bush. I miss that. I miss African wildlife, the birds, the sound of African birds in the bushveld can never be compared with. I miss seeing things like the huge African angoles. I miss snakes. I miss coming out of my house and having all my chickens following me. They'd follow me like little babies. They were my little babies, and I miss getting fresh eggs from them, because eggs are so expensive here in America. I miss my honeybees. I miss African sunsets. Nothing compares and can compete with an African sunset. I don't care where you are in the world. I miss seeing the sunset. It's just so beautiful, and I miss it. It's a sunset like you'll never, everyone who travels to Africa will always tell you the sunset's one of the most amazing things you can see. And, I've always filmed the sunset, whether it was on my farm, whether it was near a body of water on a holiday. Filming the sunset sunset is my favorite time of the day. I prefer sunsets to sunrises. I'm that kind of girl. I'm a sunset girl. And I like the odd sundowner back when I could have one. But a sunset is my favorite time of the day. It's what I live for. It's why I wake up in the morning, is to see that sunset at the end of the day. So knowing one day I'll see another African sunset is something that I live for. And I can't wait in like 5 years when we can return to Africa and see it. And I miss the moon. I haven't seen the moon since we got here to Lincoln. I miss an African braai, a South African braai. And especially with boerewors, you can get lamb chops and chicken and everything here. But the smell of boerewors, braaiing on coals, is something when you smell that as a South African, you know, ek ruik braaivleis. I smell braaivleis. Somebody's braai. When you smell that wors on the braai. And this was my last braaivleis I had a couple of days before I left. And I just thought, yeah, let me just film the wors on the braai because I knew I would miss it. And I wish I could smell that right now because it would just put my heart at ease. And I'm going to learn how to make boerewors while I'm here. Because, yeah, pork sausage and Italian sausage and all of that will never compare to good old boerewors. You know, it's a South African staple. And, yeah, I miss smelling it. I miss having it in the house when I make my kids wors rolls. You know, I eat, instead of having eggs and bacon, I was a South African girl. I had wors and bacon and eggs every time I made breakfast. I miss driving on the left side of the road. You know, I miss the left side of the road. I miss driving on a grondpad, a dirt road. You know, there's nothing like it. And it's a skill to drive on a dirt road. And I mastered that skill. I was so good at it. I told my husband I should be a rally driver. And I should enter rallies, and I could probably do that here in America, and I would kick some butt driving down a dirt road because I drive crazy good. And I miss Kromdraai. I miss Kromdraai, where I lived for so many years in Tabazimbi. And I miss the left side of the road, like I said. And I miss the rains. I miss the way rain smells. Before it rains, during the rain, and after the rain. I miss the rains down in Africa. I miss the rain. Because it rains here, but it's not the rain that I love, you know. I miss getting stuck in the mud after the rain on the farm. Did that too many times. I miss long road trips with my husband and kids. We took so many long road trips through different provinces like Mpumalanga, one of our last holidays here before we left. And it was amazing. I loved it. I loved exploring parts of South Africa that we'd never been to. I miss going on holidays, long, awesome holidays. When my husband would come home for his R&R, we'd always take time and take the kids somewhere. And this was one of my favorite places to go on holiday. It's a place in KwaZulu-Natal. It's called Benito. And I miss it. I miss the ocean. I don't know when I'll see the ocean again. And yeah, I miss it, you know. And I always say to my husband, a fire, when you look at it, makes you think. But an ocean, when you sit in front of an ocean, makes you feel. It brings up all the emotions that the human body could feel just looking at the ocean and the smell of the ocean. And I love Belito, and we love KZN in South Africa because there you can swim. The water, the current is warm, it's there. Indian current, Indian Ocean current that flows past KwaZulu-Natal, so the water is pretty decent to swim in. Nobody swims in Cape Town, it's too damn cold, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna miss my holidays because I loved taking holidays. We did like 3 or 4 a year with the kids because we could. And I'm gonna miss going to my Vipassana, you know, on meditation. I'm gonna miss just knowing where I'm going. You know, when I drive on the road like I'm driving here, I just knew where I'm going. I didn't have to look or think or wonder where's north, where's south, where's up, where's down. I just knew where I was going. I had my directions down. I could drive everywhere from Cape Town, Pretoria, KZN. You know, I knew where I was going. And I miss my bakkie, the car that I'm driving. I miss my bakkie. I miss my animals. That's my Teddy. He's my dachshund. That's my Charlie. He's my collie. And I miss my 14-year-old cat. I miss her with a passion. She's everything. I miss my Lume, my farmhand. And I miss Matthew, my human. So another thing I'm going to miss, and that has to do with my pride. I'm going to miss being a business owner, you know. No pride comes before the fall, as they always say. But we were really proud of all the hard work we put in to own a business, because we were always afraid we were going to lose another contract job working out of the country, which happened so many times with us, and we had another start over and another start over. And owning this business in town was really awesome. We could keep people in employ, and it was a way of us building, building a future for our children, so that we could have more than just their dad's income in case of emergency. And now being here, I have to start like on the bottom rung to start to rebuild. But as my husband says, baby, at least there's a rung. We didn't have any rung in South Africa, no rung of the ladder to start on. Everything we had to build the ladder. So I'm gonna miss being a business owner as well. So yeah. However, it's the aspects of my life, the aspects of South Africa that made up my life, my experience, that I miss, and that can never be replaced. I can't replace my cat. She's 14 years old. Matthew's looking after her right now, and she's our firstborn. That was my husband and I's first child. I had her before I was pregnant with my daughter, and I think about her and I miss her every day, because she slept in my belly, so in our marriage bed it was Francois, me, and Whiskers, and it's rains, sunsets, so the South African does get super uber homesick, and I'm happy. Life is good, and everyone's busy today. My husband's gone to college, my kids are at school, and I'm supposed to be doing a 3-hour assessment for a job right now, but I'm getting this done so that I can get it out of my system, and I can, once it's out of my system, I can concentrate and get back to the grind, so I've got a 3-hour not interview, assessment to do now for a position that I've applied for, and hopefully it all goes well, and that keeps me busy enough so that I'm not pining for what some people might think is little things, but it's the big things in my life, because I'm a very simple creature. I'm not somebody that's materialistic or misses stuff, but the bits of stuff that I had was stuff we worked very hard for, and I loved my life. I loved my bushveld life. I loved the bushveld, and I miss it, and those African thorn trees and my African sandalwood trees, which we call a tambuati in South Africa, because they're a protected tree. I used to hug my trees. I'm a tree hugger, and I would hug my trees and be like, I love this place so much, so that's my little rant this week. My rant has to do with just being a tad homesick, so if any other South Africans are feeling my feels, let me know, and we can console each other together, and let me start learning how to make boerewors so that I can give and share to all my fellow South Africans here in Lincoln, because goddamn, I know they're going to be happy for that. That would make them super happy. South Africans, we love our boerewors. So thanks for listening to me rant and sob and cry about some things that I can't replace. My animals, my chickens, my bees, my farm. And let me stop sobbing, and let me take all this energy and convert it into can-do energy, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to do, and I'm here to work, and I'm here to give my children a better life. And I'm happy to say they don't have a tad of homesickness, like they say, because mom and dad and us we all together every day. It feels like a holiday, mama. That's what they keep saying. It feels like a holiday. And I'm glad we prepared them for this big move, and their happiness and their sense of mind and comfort and their mental health well-being is the most important for me. So I'll take it all on. I'll carry it for our family. And yeah, let me get to the grind. Wish me luck on this 3-hour assessment, and hopefully by next week's video I'll tell y'all it went well and I got it done. Nice thing about America, everything is done online, interviews, everything, and I love it. It's very rare you have to get actually formally dressed up and go in for one. A lot of it is conducted either over the phone or online on a Zoom call or something. So let this homesick South African get busy. And yeah, I guess I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.